Yo, it's Abuuzar aka Zar, and today we are going to be going through the Season 3 settings. We got the new map, so let's get into it. So for general, I have 120 for my field of view. 100 to 120 is a good range. Try to not go below that because you're not going to see as much as the, sweaty players. For brightness, put it to 60. If you need this to be higher, if you can't really see those rose skins, definitely increase this. 100 and 100 for the HUD bounds. You could lower this to like 50 or 75 as well, but if you want as much space on your screen, put this to 100. Skip intro movie, we have it enabled, and then for tooltips, we can have that disabled. For subtitles, I have it disabled, and then for colorblind type, I have it as, I don't know how to say this, but this is the third choice, and I have it set to world for the colorblind target. The reason why I use the colorblind is because it makes the game a little bit more vibrant, and I can see skins a little better, and overall it's just more enjoyable to play the game. For minimap shape, you have to run square. Minimap rotation, run enabled, and then for this you can run either or. Text chat enabled, profanity filter disabled, gore effects disabled. You can have that enabled, but I find that the blood is very annoying when you're shooting at a target. FPS counter enabled, server latency enabled, packet loss disabled, and GPU temperature enabled. Alright, now let's get into the juicy stuff. We have graphics, display mode, full screen, screen refresh rate 144, render resolution 1920 by 1080. For screen refresh rate and render resolution, you're going to have to figure out what your monitor's settings are, and then have it according to that. And then aspect ratio, we have automatic. For VSync, we have disabled. For custom frame rate limit, we have unlimited. And NVIDIA highlights disabled. NVIDIA reflex low latency enabled plus boost. Display mode or display gamma, we have 2.2. Streaming quality, we have normal. Texture resolution, we have normal. Texture filter is going to be high. Particle quality is going to be high. Bullet impact and sprays, we're going to have enabled. Tessellation, we're going to have all. And then on-demand texture streaming, we're going to have disabled. The reason why we have anisotropic and tessellation high is because we want to be able to see things clearly when viewed at an angle. For the shadows, we're going to have shadow map resolution set to normal. We have cache spot shadows and cache sun shadows set to enabled. We have particle lighting set to low. We have DirectX ray tracing set to disabled. We have ambient occlusion set to dynamic objects, and then screen space reflection set to disabled. Reflections don't really matter in this game all that much, so we don't really need this messing with our FPS at all. Moving on, we have post-processing effects. We have filmic strength set to 100. We have DLSS set to disabled. If you have a really low-end computer, maybe play around with this. You guys have to do this yourselves and see what works with your setup. Anti-aliasing, we have set to SMAA T2X. I wouldn't recommend going to Filmic because it's going to cause your game to lag. I know a lot of people do play on Filmic though. If you really don't like the jagged edges, then play with Filmic, I guess, and then make this 0. But if you're in favor of FPS, then I suggest playing with SMAA 1X or T2X. I play at T2X because 1X is just a little too jagged for me, so this helps it bring back the clarity a little. Depth of field, we're going to set to disabled. Motion blur, both disabled. All three of these you want disabled just so you can see your game as clearly as possible. Film grain, you're going to set that to 0. Same thing, you're going to see more things if you set this to 0. And dynamic resolution, set that to disabled. So these are my audio settings. It's a little weird. Most people run boost high or boost. For the regular person, you might want to run those. I have a Logitech GX Pro, so this headset, it's just the equalizer settings out of the box is just very weird, and gunshots are just too loud. Like, everything about the game is just too loud. So I run dynamic home theater because I see that it runs the best for me. And I also have an equalizer setting for my headset. Logitech has their own equalizer software. If your headset has a equalizer software, also use the same thing. I'll put my equalizer settings on screen right now so you guys can check that out. So put together with the equalizer settings and dynamic home theater, this is very comfortable for me. It might not be for you. Most people might want to run boost high or boost, and then for the settings, run master volume at 100, music volume 0, dialogue volume at 5, effects volume at 80 or above, juggernaut music, set this to disabled, hit marker sound effects, I have it set to classic, mono audio, you can set that to disabled, voice chat enabled, open mic, and yeah, the rest of this is whatever. So for my controller, I have the Scuff Impact. I have 2 paddles in the back, one for jumping and then one for meleeing, and then I have my BR button layout set to tactical. What that means is that I'm going to be sliding with my thumb, and then I'm going to be meleeing with either circle or my paddle. And so for stick layout preset, we have that set to default. For invert vertical look, we have airplanes only. We have dead zone set to 0.2. This is default. And then horizontal and vertical stick sensitivity set to 4. You might want to play around with that. You guys could probably run a lot smoother and faster. I just find that 4 is comfortable for me right now. I'm going to hire that eventually once I get more comfortable with my controller. I just got it, so I'm just getting into it. And for multipliers, you're gonna have this set to 1. For aim response curve type, I have dynamic, and then for controller vibration, set that to disabled. All right, so for weapons, we have aim assist set to standard, we have FOV set to enabled, we have mount activation set to ADS plus melee, mount movement exit we have enabled, for aim down sight behavior we have hold, for equipment behavior we have toggle, for use/reload behavior, we have contextual tap. For depleted ammo switch, we have disabled. For armor plate behavior, we have apply all. For slide behavior, we have tap. For auto move forward, we have disabled. For automatic sprint, we have automatic tactical sprint. I'm a big fan of this because for my play style, I play very aggressive, and this means that I won't have to keep on mashing my left joystick just to run, you know. So this is a big help for me. I would say on keyboard and mouse I don't run that, but for a controller I feel like it's a must. If you're not really used to it and you don't really like the fast movement and you're more of a slow and taking your time type of player, then run this as disabled or maybe even automatic sprint. You guys should play around with that and see what works for you. For vehicle camera recenter, we have disabled. For parachute auto deploy, have that disabled. Alright, so that's gonna do it for the settings right there. One more thing that I want to show you guys is if you have a NVIDIA graphics card, what you're gonna do is right click your desktop and then click on NVIDIA control panel. Go to adjust desktop color settings and then set your digital vibrance to 60%. What this is gonna do is make your game a little bit more vibrant and saturated. Don't OD on this though, you don't want it to be too saturated, but I find that this helps you get back that color that NVIDIA filters was giving you. The reason why I opted out of using NVIDIA filters for this season is because what I noticed is that with the new update, I was getting really low FPS using NVIDIA filters. I was losing out on almost 20 to 30 FPS using the NVIDIA filters. So what I figured out is that if you use the colorblind mode that I showed y'all, and you use digital vibrance in the control panel and the settings that I just showed y'all from the graphics settings, you're gonna have way more FPS, you're gonna have a lot of clarity in your game, and overall it's just gonna be more fun to play because the colors look better, you see more things. If you guys need to higher the brightness, if the rose skins are a little too dark for you still, higher the brightness in game. I have my brightness set to 60, that's pretty standard, but higher it up to like 65, maybe even 70 if your desktop is really low light. But yeah, that's gonna do it all for the settings right there. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like for me, follow me on Twitch, and it's the first link in the description below. I love to talk with my followers. Come through, talk with me, enjoy the stream. I hope to see y'all there. Have a good day, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace out.